everybody, and welcome back. My name is Sue, and I'm from OML Embroidery, and over at the computer is Dawn.
Hello. Sorry.
Wow.
I was checking audio levels, make sure we're good before we get rolling here.
Multitasking. Jeez. Hi, Misha. Hello, hello. Good morning, Leah. Good morning, Judy from Texas. Woo. I get my morning giggles from y'all. Yeah, we giggle a lot. Chris Yost, hello, Chris. Karina, she's saying hello to you and not me. Robin, hello. Isabel, I hope the storm isn't too bad for you, Isabel. So, okay, let's chat first. Not a quilt chat, but just a chat. So this is what I've been working on. Now, I have made some changes on it, and it is a zipper bag, a fiery zipper bag. Yes, I changed all this. It doesn't show up exactly how I want, but what I wanted to show you guys, happy accident. So I added this specific design, and look what happened. It gave it some depth, like it's a side on it. How cool is that? It's my new favorite thing. So it's not a flat zipper bag, fully lined and everything. Oh, geez. Get out, Don. Don't zoom in.
I was showing the sides.
Yeah, but you gotta tell me when you're doing it, man.
I was too quick to bother telling you.
Yeah, no, please. Did I see Mom in there? Someone said hi, Mama Brown. So, hello. Judy Quilt, hello. So, isn't that the coolest? That was a happy accident. So, I'll have this, and I think we should stitch this one out. Again, I did fix all this. I was just kind of testing it out because I did the zipper on a slant, and I wanted to see how hard it was to match up the fire. But I did a pretty good job. And then, of course, I have, fire background. So super fun. Really happy with that. Yes.
Yay.
Yes. So I wanted to show you guys this just briefly. If you guys want a video, let me know. It is Stephen Wilson. So that's the guy from Anita Good Design. And it's a new signature series. So the first one was butterflies. The second one was something else. This is flowers. So they're amazing. Beyond belief, amazing.
Sarah says, yes, please, video.
Yes, please, videos, straight up. Lynn came over yesterday with her not her dog, her son's dog, and she looked through this, and her mouth is just open the whole time. So I think these might be projects that we do, but look, isn't that gorgeous? Look, the colors. So these are all the pieces, and then the colors. It is amazing. So I think we should go through that one day. So let me put that aside. I keep looking at my dragon. He's so cool. High contrast with the Christmas, but you know. All right, so today we are talking about endless quilting. And I'm going to do something a little bit different today because I always use the magnetic hoops. Why? Because it's easier. But not everybody has a magnetic hoop. So today we're going to rock it old school, and we are going to use a template. I highly, highly, highly recommend getting the peel and stick printable ones because that's awesome. And the design we're going to use today is mason jars. And if you head on over to omlembroidery.com, it's free. It's free. And it's for the 5x7 hoop, so you can practice your endless quilting with just about anything. It's easier to start off small than go big, sort of thing. So I got my regular 5x7 hoop and the fabric. So this would be, either a square or whatever you want to embroider on. So it is the background fabric. I don't always add it, but I am today because I want it to show up on the back. So somebody asked me that in one of the videos. why didn't you put the backing on it? If you don't want the sewing to show through, the quilting, I guess, to show through, then leave the backing off. Then I'm going to have my batting, and I'm using my crappity crap batting because we're just practicing, so it's good for that. And my top fabric, which Judy Quilt, I'm sorry, it's a bit, I don't know, fuzzy from my crappy, anyways. So when you are quilting, you're going to have, you know, squares and different things, or you can do it on a square. Now, on this freebie, I've included the squaring up. So it's placement, and then put your batting down. It sews it down, so the tack down, cut it out, and put your top fabric on. If you're doing just endless quilting just on one, just skip these steps. That's what I am gonna do. So I've got my line. I just did it in chalk with a ruler. Now, if you had your peel and stick, this would be super easy. Oh, another thing that you must do is you need to have the batting and probably the background fabric. It needs to be bigger than your quilt top. Why? People ask me that why. I'll show you why. If I want this right on the edge, you need something to hoop. If you just had it on the edge with just the fabric, you're going to end up in trouble right here. So even more than what I've done, more like the top. The other side is actually a lot better. Obviously, I didn't do it right. So that's why you want to have extra, so you can place, say you wanted to place half here, you could do that if you had more. So that's a big thing for it. Now, magnetic hoops, yeah, just put it on, center it, and off you go. We're going to do, like I said, old school. So I printed this from the Dime software, and it has an arrow pointing up. Now, I just about made that mistake because I had it sitting here. No, you want it up. You want it oriented properly, or it's not going to fit together. So if you don't have this, then mark it with a pen. Like I said, if you had the peel and stick, it would be delightful. But we're going old school, so I just printed out the template. Now, one thing I do, if I'm using stickers, so this machine that I have has a lot of options for placement, none of which I'm going to use today because we're doing old school, right? It has the camera, which I like, the scanner, it's a Luminaire too, so, and it has the projector, and it also reads the snowman stickers. But you don't have to have all of that for sure. So I folded it on the lines, and I'm just going to fold it this way. And there is such a thing as placement stickers. Dime has a ton of them, which if you're in the mood, I would suggest placing everything before you take it to your machine. You'll just have a whole bunch of stickers and it'll save you some time. So yeah, there we go. There we go. So now I have it folded, and I have my line here. It's just a chalk line. It's not a big deal. So I want to do 2 of them. So this is probably where I want my first one. Now we're going to line it up. Whether or not this line is straight, it doesn't really matter. I want to have it lined up with it. So then we're going to go ahead and mark the top, and we're going to go ahead and mark the bottom, and I'm just making it from here. And then take my ruler and just line it up and draw a little line, again with chalk. So now what does all that mean? That means that I want my needle to start right there in the middle, right there. So that's one way of doing it. Now another way, I can show you why I did all this folding. So we're just going to ignore the line I did, or I can move over, I guess. Line up these two lines, and then I like to fold it back. Look, I'm holding it down. We don't want it to go anywhere. And then you can slip the sticker underneath there and make it line up. They all have lines on it. And then don't push it down, and then flip it this way and line it up here. And if you have a hard time seeing the lines, then you can just simply draw them with a pen. And then you will have a sticker placed right here. And then you can go on and do the next one and the next one and the next one.
I like snowman stickers.
Yes, snowman stickers are nice. I guess I could show you guys with the snowman sticker because I have them right here. I do use them. I'm just not going to today. So let's do that again with the snowman sticker. So line up the sides. So really the point of all this is to tell you guys, you don't have to have a big fancy machine to do all the stuff that I do. The bells and whistles are just that. I happen to love them, but there we go. Now, can you see behind well enough, Dawn?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm zoomed in a little bit.
So I just have it tucked like this, and I'm just going to plop it down, and I'm going to line it up. And you can pull back a little bit, so I'm lining the lines up here. And I'm not going to push it down or anything because I don't want to do that yet, because I don't want it to stick. And snowman stickers can get kind of picky. And then I'm going to go this way. Oh, I did a pretty good job there. That's not bad. Once I get it how I want, and I'm going to double check, see how it lines up perfectly. I did a good job there. And then here, we're a tiny bit off, but it will be okay. Now I'm going to push it down. So if your machine can read snowman stickers, you will have gotten them. It's a brother baby lock thing. You would have gotten them with your machine. So if you don't have them, then your machine can't read them. However, you can still line it up. There's some dots right here. This dot right here is in the middle, so you know where to put your needle. You could get circles from the dollar store, circle stickers, and just run lines through them with a marker. Voila, done. Voila, done. Or printable ones or anything like that. So, is everyone with me so far? So, no tech going on today. Print, like I said, I recommend the print and stick because you could just place it, then place your next one, that sort of thing, and mark everything, and it's delightful. So with me so far, all I've used is a chalk printer and a ruler. I always keep a ruler at my desk. So the next thing is hooping. When you get to this point when you have a magnetic hoop, you can just pop it on. Now, one thing about the Luminaire, because it has such technical things, it doesn't have the inserts for any of the hoops. So what's an insert? It just sits on top and it has a grid. So then what you can do is line everything up. So this machine doesn't have. If yours does, then use them. It's quite handy. And we want to hoop this so it's in the middle. So I'm going to loosen my hoop a little bit, just a guesstimate. You don't have to be precise. And I'm going to hoop the quilt sandwich in. And this is just called a dry run. That's what I call a dry run. Just to make sure that the hoop's going to go in. Why? Because I got lots of bulk going on. So that might be just right. How did I do that? I have no idea. So, okay, that worked, but I didn't bother with placement. So now that I have the hoop loose enough, let's do this for reals and get the placement. So, hooping, just take your time. It's not rocket science. It's just precision work. Might have been easier if I had drawn the lines longer, but that's okay. So I kind of tip it down. I'm not putting it down. I tip it down and see how close I am. So this side's got to go up a little bit, and It's right between the googly eyes, the other mark, and it's got to go over. So let's see how that's looking. That's not too bad. I'm going to go with that. So then push it down. You got to have a flat surface to hoop. Double check everything. It's pretty good. So that's not hard. And then I'm just going to tighten it just a little bit just to make sure everything holds on. So there we have it. We have our fabric, we have our batting, and then we have our quilted fabric all in one, and it's all lined up. So I'm super happy about that. We do not need the sticker because we are going to take that off.
Sometimes they stick too good.
Yeah. And yeah, you can use them more than once. I tend to use the snowman ones like twice, but if they get wrinkled or whatever, then it doesn't like reading it properly, so there's no point. But yeah, you can use them a couple times, or like I said, the dime ones are really nice. It's awesome. So that is how you do everything with a regular hoop. So you don't have to have a magnetic hoop. It is nice though. It is nice. So it's cool. It's cool. So I'm all lined up, ready to go. So let's go to the machine so we can stitch to the machine, Dawn. All right, we're going to play a little bit of Bob and Chicken here, but it's okay. Now, these are just chalk lines, remember, so they will just wipe off for sure. Now, I may be a little bit off. I do have a camera, but we're going low tech here. So put your needle down, and you can see I am a little bit off. Which is okay. Now the machine doesn't really like what I just did. So you could either re-hoop it or we can do the move. The key to needles down. Oh, see, it didn't like it. Sorry. So let's do the move. And I'm just gonna move it over. All machines do this. And pretty good right there. What do you think? I think that's good. So you can just roll your needle down again if you want. That'll be fine. And then we're ready to stitch, which is awesome. Now I'm going to show you. It's only a 2-minute stitch out. Oh, that was me. Sorry. So it's pretty darn quick. And I'm using white thread so you guys can really, really see it. Oh, and I forgot to skip everything. So we'll just stitch this out. This is what I was talking about, the placement and everything. Looks pretty good though for placement. I forgot. So then what I'm gonna do is, I should have picked up on it starting at the corner. Ha! I'm going to skip right over to the stitching. And it looks like it's starting perfectly. So that looks pretty good. Kind of gives you more of an idea. Oh, the white looks fantastic. And I do have a white bobbin, so it's going to look great. Oh, how cute is that? I like it. I like it. And I made the running stitches a little bit bigger too. A little bit longer. I like it. I think maybe these jars should be glow in the dark with a little glow bug in it. So once you get the hang of this quilting and the hoop, it's super easy. And a lot of fun actually. I quite enjoy it. So I love the mason jars. Do you like the mason jars, Don? One more, and then we're at the end. So that was pretty easy for the first one. So let's match it up old school for the next one. Thank you. What I'm going to do is skip ahead for stitching out the next one so I don't forget. So, okay, let's go back to the desk, Dawn. Back to the desk.
Yeah, okay. Sorry.
So I'm going to pop this out of the hoop, and I'm going to remember to loosen it a little bit. So I turned it like 4 turns. Hopefully that will be okay. And the first thing I'm going to do is move my hoop out of the way. You want everything nice and flat. Is make sure my arrow's up. And then I'm gonna not worry about that. Just this little piece. I could cut it, but I don't have paper scissors right in front of me. And you can't use Matula Pink for anything other than fabric. So I just folded it back. And we want it to line up like this. And we can go in just a little bit more. And now we do the same thing that we did before. So the first thing I'm going to do is get my ruler. It's just easier like this. Holds everything down for me. And I'm going to mark it here. It's easier to do it without here and here. Now I need my ruler. We're still using the first baseline, so it still works. And line it up like this. Shows up really nice. You can get different colors of chalk markers as well. And now we are left with just hooping this. Super easy. I got to make sure I get my whole quilt sandwich in there. And it's the same thing as we did before. Now, I know my machine has, you know, the bells and whistles for this. But I'm not using them today. So make sure the bottom's kind of generally in the right spot. So we're good that way. We're just not good this way. So yeah, I can show you guys the bells and whistles if you want, but okay, it's got to go up a little bit. So I'm just kind of getting it generally how I want it. That's looking pretty good here and here. Pretty good, a little crooked. This is where the grids that you get with your hoops, this is where they come in handy. So remember I loosened it a little bit. You don't want to ever hoop it too tightly. And frankly, if you're straining to hoop, then it's too tight. So I just pushed it down there, and then I'm going to tighten it 2, 3, 4. And that just saves you time in figuring it out. Ramona says, I appreciate you showing how to do it without all the bells and whistles. Yeah, we kind of get caught up in our technology. And like I said, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love it. But people commented, can I do this on my machine? The answer is yes. You can do anything that I do except for the big hoop. Just differently. You just, whereas I would scan it, find this, match it up, turn it, whatever. You just do it this way. And it's not that hard. It really isn't that hard. And I made these for free because I want you guys to practice. Also, I made them small because it's a lot easier to master this skill with a 5x7 hoop rather than a huge hoop. So, for sure. So I've got this nice and tight. I always check the back, make sure everything's in there. This is what we're aiming for, and we should have it perfect. Pretty darn close anyways. All right, back to the machine, Dawn. Now, one thing that I did, let's see. So, you should probably put it back. I overstepped a little bit. You should probably put it back to the beginning, but I'm just going to check here. Wow. Did I ever get that right on? Can you see that? Zoom in. That is right on.
Yeah, a little bit fuzzy, but you can tell.
It's right on. So let's go do it the other way. So let's go back to the beginning. And you can see that why we do this, because we want to make sure that our needle is right in the middle. Now it's a little bit off, so I am going to do, move, and I'm just going to move it over a little bit, and that's as far as we can go. And I think that'll be fine. So now we're going to skip everything. If I was doing a whole bunch of these, I would load it without those parts, just so you don't forget to skip. Now I want it to look endless. So yeah, I got that right on, man. I'm really happy. See, it's not hard. If I can do it, you guys can do it. If I can do it live on video, man, you can do it. Just mark, take your time, hit perfectly on. It's a little bit like one stitch over, but you can fix that. Now, it would be even more perfect if I didn't stitch out the box, but that's okay. And once you get rid of all the chalk marks, then it's done. You got everything that you need, and it's perfect. And I don't think that took me much longer than using a magnetic hoop. Again, don't get me wrong, I highly recommend the hoops. They just make life easier for sure. I do enjoy them, but you can still do everything that I do. So Lynn, that means you can do endless quilting with this design, and it's the perfect size. So look, we did it. We did it. I think that's awesome. And I did win Bobbin Chicken. Thank you. Thank you. All right, go back to the desk, Dawn. So we did it. How cool is that? Now, my problem was I'm off by one stitch. Okay, so whoop-de-doo is the first thing I'm going to say. It's okay to be off one stitch, but if it bothers you, then you can just take out one stitch. Why not? Look. What are you talking about? There's no mistakes. And they're off by like 0.5 millimeter, but trust me, no one's going to notice that. It is continuous enough. So all I did was pop out that one stitch, and it sure looks better. But isn't that cool? Now let's look at the back. If you do the backs, which is awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't always do it that way, but it is kind of nice. Now you can trim down your knots a little bit, but be careful. It is the back, so it's not going to be a big deal. If I was trimming them, I would just do the sticky up parts, if that makes sense. Like I wouldn't try to get at the knot where the thread piled up. So just, you know, not too much. You can't get rid of it all, or else you don't want your stitching to come out. But see, that tidied it up pretty well. This one's going to give me a hard time, but that's okay. So that's the back, that's the front. If I didn't have this box here, it would be stunning for sure. And when you're done, look, all you have to do is take the chalk.
Can you eliminate the tie off at the beginning and end of the design and leave long threads to bury them?
If you want to, yeah. I'm pretty lazy, so I didn't do that. You can also pull up the bobbin thread so there's no big knots on the back. Whatever makes you happy, that's fine. So look.
And Sarah asks, now how do you line up the next row?
Exactly the same way. Exactly, precisely. Oh, the next row. That is not difficult. Hold on. Good question. Just let me get my template. This is where the template comes in handy. So make sure it's up the right way. And I really want to cut this, but I can't. I can't. Yeah. We'll just do it this way, okay? Just roughing it here, going old school, not even using scissors. Just what I'm doing here is I'm just making it so I can see what is going on, and that will help me for placement. So we're going to pretend that we have a lot more fabric going on. So again, this is where the dime ones come in handy. So we can see our line there, so we basically know that's where it's going to go. And I would have more lines across. So now the only question is, how close do you put it? So this is where the see-through ones come in handy, and this is why I kind of chopped this down a little bit. So going on the line that I didn't completely erase, you can place it just like this. And then you would go ahead and do your markings. You can double check. I would increase that if we had more. And then you just keep going. So it's sideways endless. So, and even if you're off a little bit on this part, it's okay. So we're going to have 2 mason jars together like that, which I think looks fantastic. And all the swirlies. So the important thing is to remember which way is up, and cut them a little bit better than I did. I know I ripped it and everything, but you can see why. If I didn't, I wouldn't be able to see how the top is gonna look. If you don't like it that close, look, you can move it down if you think there should be a little bit more space, but you can actually see. So this would be another thing if you did it, let's see, this close. You could see what it looks like basically with the 2 mason jars really close. And you know what? That does not look bad at all. Not at all. So it just depends on what you like. Just make sure you can see it for sure. It would be really easy with the see-through peel and stick, because then you can, see what you like the best. So if you want them touching, then you do it that way for the whole thing. Can you turn the design upside down for the next one? Won't the connectors match going across? They do match, but the design is a little different. So hopefully I'm not off camera. This is why we have templates. It would match up, yes, but this is different. I like the swirly like that. But yes, you know what? If you did it by accident and matched them up, no one's going to know. It is not the end of the world. It's not my preferred aesthetic, but honestly, there's nothing wrong with it. So the answer, short answer, yes, you could. If you want to do them all upside down, do them all upside down or sideways. Just do it the same way. Or not. I mean, anything goes. It's endless quilting. And I know you can really see this with, 2 of them. But say you had 20 of these stitching out and a beautiful block pattern behind it, you're really not going to say it. You're really not going to notice. It's not going to be a problem. So, yes, that would be my only consideration, is that this junction doesn't match this one, and there's no place where the 2 mason jars are so close together. That's what I would look at. But again, if you have 20 blocks, it's really not going to matter. So if you do that by accident, yes, you can recover on the next one and no one will notice. So that's awesome. So small, quick design. This is just scrap fabric with my crappy batting, but you need it for the, for the loft of it to make it look really good. And you can have fun. It would be a lot of fun if you had a 5x5 square, quilted quilting square that you did like in the hoop or whatever with no quilting on it to put this on after and get it all lined up and everything. So what do you think, Dawn? Did I cover everything?
Yeah, answered the questions I came up with before they got out of my mouth.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's good. That's good. I'd like everyone to try it, though, because it's really fun and it's really nice. I mean, you could make a whole wall hanging out of this for sure. You could do, a square in the hoop and then just have this as a separate one. Then you don't have to do all this placement because you just do it how we do a regular square. So placement, batting, fabric, and then you sew them together.
Leah says it'd be great in variegated thread.
It would be great in variegated thread. It would be for sure. Carolyn says, love the mason jar design. Well, I'm glad. It's fun. I just want you guys to have fun and learn this skill. It just takes practice and a little bit of patience and some chalk and a ruler. And yes, you can do it with any hoop. This is the 5x7, but any hoop size that you have. You don't have to have a magnetic hoop, although Dime's magnetic hoops, oh, those are fantastic. I have an 8x8 because I use that all the time. That's my favorite quilt size block. Not too big, not too small. And I have the big one because to do it, to re-hoop it like this, whew, it seems like a lot of work. It's like, whew, that hoop is a big hoop.
Misha says she needs that design for an 8x8.
An 8x8. All right. Karina says, Sue, if you checked out Hatch 3, yes, I have, and it looks pretty awesome. Runs nice and zippy. They've added a couple of new stitches, which is awesome. It's getting more and more like E4, by the way.
I want to play with it today.
Yeah, we're going to be checking it out more. But yeah, it's... the update, I think it was like 250 Canadian. It's not bad. Like for me, I consider that's delightful because E4, it's usually 2,000 and we need new copies. So Debbie says, I was too scared to try in the hoop, but now I'm empowered. Yeah, you can do this. And Debbie, make sure you post a picture of what you do. And just practice, scrap practice, small hoop, the whole bit. You can do it. It's not, I wouldn't say it's easy. You just couldn't hand this to someone and say, do it. It is a skill, but you just, practice, loosen up your hoop, tighten up your hoop. See, before I put my hoop away, I'm going to tighten it back up. Because normally what I stitch is just WSS and it'll drive me nuts. So yeah, I have certain ways of doing it, but that is how you hoop it properly.
Is there really any difference with using a magnetic one compared to that? Like, is it worth doing a separate video on?
I've done videos. I only use the magnetic ones. That's why I thought I'd do manual. The difference is the hooping. You don't have to tighten it or loosen it or anything. You put the bottom one on, you line it up, and then you pop on the top part and it's holding, and then you can make minor adjustments. Just the same thing. For sure.
Same thing, it just makes it a lot easier to do.
Makes it easier. I quite enjoy them. But if you guys ever noticed, for most of like mug rugs and stuff that we do, this is the hoop that I use.
So if they want to see that technique done, the old school technique done with magnetic, they can just check out one of your older videos.
Yeah, or if you guys really want to do that, I can do this exact design again, but with a magnetic hoop. It's just easier. There's less to do. If you don't want to do it with a magnetic hoop, just do it the way I did it. Our embroiderers have been doing it like this for I want to say a million years. It seems like it, but you know, a long time. Do you have any edge end to end designs? Well, this is the first one I have up on the website, but I will be doing more. I just wanted to make sure everyone knows how to use them.
Is that like for sashing she's wanting?
No, any other ones.
Ah.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you I'm on a big dragon roll. I got a couple of big things coming up that I'm trying to work on today. That's what I'm going to be doing. So, you know, you can count on some dragon ones. Love that you shouldered old school. I don't have a magnetic hoop and I don't have any snowman stickers. Honestly, you don't have to have that stuff. You know, Lynn has her older machine, Mickey. I don't even remember what it was, what the name of it is. There are no bells and whistles on that thing. There's nothing. And Lynn loves it. She can do anything that I do as long as it fits in her hoop. That's it. So as long as it's 5x7, and I try to appeal to the 5x7 people all the time. This is a little bit bigger, but yeah, you can do it. You can do it. Just hoop. Please don't float a quilt sandwich, for sure. I do enjoy the magnetic hoops, the dime ones. Now we have the big, thicker ones for the multi-needle machines. Dawn loves them. I don't care for them. So, you know. Judy says, please do it that way with the magnetic hoop. Y'all work so well together with your explanations and Don's close-up. Yeah, he's getting better at that, isn't he? Everyone uses the Luminaire, so old school is great. What I believe in, like I believe in technology and the bells and whistles and everything, but I also believe learning it the right way the first time before you do it any other way. So you have a good working knowledge and then you can make your own shortcuts and do it that way. I do things more old school, even though I have a Solaris with all the bells and whistles. Those intimidate me more than the old school. Yeah, I know. Have you seen the slide with the the hoop guard? Yeah, I have one. I have the bigger one for the big hoop, and it is delightful for quilting. Obviously, I'm only going to use the big magnetic hoop for quilting, so I just made sure I have that. I still have a bellless and whistleless machine. Makes you learn so much. Yeah, you can do anything. The bells and whistles, the cameras, the projector, all that kind of stuff just makes it easier sometimes. I'm not going to say the projector is necessarily easier. I find it kind of tricky sometimes. But, you know, magnetic hoops are on sale this week. Pick the size that you use the most and try one, especially if they're on sale. Now, I only have two of the I have three. The big hoop, so it's 11 by 16. I have for quilting, doing quilt tops in the hoop. 8 by 8 because I use it all the time. If I'm going to do quilting anything, it's going to be 8 by 8 generally. And I have, I think, an 8 by 12 because it was seriously on sale and I got it and I couldn't resist, so why not? But you don't need all of them. You know, you can do anything. You can do anything with a regular hoop. You just have to do it a little differently. One thing I'm going to say before we go, a lot of people are against hooping because of hoop burn. Now, if you notice, there's no hoop burn on my fabric. So what is hoop burn? It's when you unhoop it and you can see a mark. What is that? Well, that is because you hooped it too tight. and you squish down the fibers and it leaves a mark. It is easily fixed with a little bit of steam or water and it's done. It's not a big deal. It just means you need to adjust your hooping. You loosen it up, you do a dry run or whatever you want to call it, practice run, and then set it up for real and tighten it a little bit. You don't want it too loose, but you don't want to like push and heave. You should never be sweating from hooping, for sure. So just a word of advice. It's not a big deal. It's user error, not hoop error. I very rarely get hoop burn. Very rarely, unless I'm using some kind of weird fabric. So, yeah, get practicing, guys. I can't wait to see. Grab some variegated thread. You could even use magnetic thread. Practice and try to take a close-up of your connection. Hoop sweat. I know. I know. Some people just hate it so much that they just go nuts with it. You don't have to. Misha says, when this is over, I have a mountain of laundry to do. We probably do too, but it's not going to happen. Embroidery or housework? Embroidery, housework. Embroidery! We both said it at the same time. That was awesome. You can put a load of laundry in, come back, do some embroidery, set your alarm on your phone, and then go and change everything over.
I much prefer putting laundry in, going to embroidery, and forgetting about the laundry.
Well, that happens too. Set an alarm. Set an alarm. So if you have any questions, just you know, ask in the OML Embroidery University Facebook group, and you know, try it. You can do this. It's not hard. Much easier to start off small. You guys got this. I will be making more dragon stuff and much more endless quilting. Make sure you give the video a like. If you have any old school embroidery friends that want to do the endless quilting, this is the video for them. And thanks for sharing. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Such a cute design.